Hi, thank you for watching the Red Hat Storage channel. I'm Irshad Raihan at Red Hat Summit 2015 in Boston, and I have with me Ranga Rangachari, Vice President of Red Hat Storage. Ranga, welcome.
Hey Irshad, how are you?
Doing good, how have you been?
Good, doing great. Great show so far.
Yeah.
Day two, but it's been non-stop action. A lot of
Absolutely.
good customer conversations, everything's going really good.
That's what we love to hear.
That's right.
And so Ranga, as far as storage, we have, it's been a little bit more than a year since we had the ink tank acquisition. How have things been so far organizationally and from a product standpoint?
You know, I think the integration has gone well beyond my expectations in terms of just integrating the ink tank team into the organization. But more importantly, I think what it's done for the storage, Red Hat storage portfolio is now given customers a wide range of products that they can use and choose and deploy to handle their specific workloads and their specific business needs. And the other part of the acquisitions, you know, even the neat thing what I really like about it is, in spite of all the progress we made on the product side, the community, the Ceph community continues to thrive and innovate at a phenomenal pace. And one of the things that we did to make sure that we don't hamper the innovation is within 2 weeks after the acquisition, we open sourced the Calamari projects. So that again, you know, raised a lot of action, a lot of innovation around the community. So overall, I feel very good about it, and I think if I talk to the team members who came from the ink tank acquisition, they're really excited to come on board and join us in this journey.
Great. You know, one of the questions we hear often and a lot of our viewers have is, as far as the product portfolio, in terms of communities and products going ahead, what is the vision?
So I think the simplest way I can think about this is it's a workload-centric approach, right? We keep talking internally about it's all about the workload, right? Once customers identify what's the best workload for the Red Hat storage portfolio, now here again, October of last year, we rebranded the products, and Red Hat Storage is now a portfolio of products. And underneath that, what we have today is Red Hat Ceph Storage and Red Hat Gluster Storage that are ideally built to handle workloads that users are asking for the most.
Perfect. And so in terms of, you know, let's take a step back and talk about software-defined storage.
Yeah.
And, we're seeing a lot of traction around software-defined and specifically software-defined storage. Why is it all the rage? What's the big deal about software-defined storage that differentiates it from the traditional way of doing things?
So, you know, I think one key element of this is the movement to cloud, right? So if you look at just not the Red Hat storage portfolio, but one of the fundamental tenets of a product offering across the company is customers will deploy the solutions across 4 different footprints: physical, virtual, private cloud, and public cloud. So when you bring in the private cloud and the public cloud aspect to it, it has to be software defined. You cannot take a piece of hardware and move it into a cloud. Right? It just it defies the laws of physics. So that, coupled with the amount of intelligence that's now being built into the software, really allows customers to build a or a storage infrastructure that's completely software defined, that yet relies on the underlying hardware that, you know, has to provide certain services. So I think it's fundamentally, just to recap, right? It's driven the movement to cloud, is really accelerated the notion and the need for a software-defined storage, and plus with the fact that there are certain workloads that can be run in a public cloud or a private cloud, and you need a software way that's seamless, that moves back and forth without any downtime. And that's one of the reasons why it's really starting to kick in.
Interesting. Yeah, one of the recurring themes in everything you said is workloads, and that's something that you know, all of the marketing efforts and the go-to-market and the way that you're really taking the solutions to market. It's all about solutions that are purpose-built for specific workloads. What are 1 or 2 of the key workloads that you see that are best fit for both Gluster as well as Ceph storage?
So, you know, there are a couple of things that I want to highlight, right? One is, it's just the sheer explosion of unstructured data in the environment. I mean, there's lots of analyst reports where people predict that 80% of new data that's going to be created is going to be unstructured in nature. And the biggest, I guess, consumer or the biggest generators of those unstructured data are what we loosely call big data. It could be analytics, it could be things like Hadoop, that need a way to scale your compute and storage as the demand grows, right? So that's one of the use cases that we're focused on, that we continue to provide a lot of value to our customers. At the other end of the spectrum, as cloud starts to become more and more prevalent, especially with OpenStack, customers need a way to start to scale compute and storage independently of each other in an OpenStack environment. Fortunately, Ceph, even on the community side, it has a very high percentage of the storage substrate in an OpenStack. A lot of informal polls have been done. It ranks obviously in the top one, but also the sheer percentage keeps growing every year. So those two, I'd say, are the bookends, analytics, big data on one side as from an application standpoint, and OpenStack from an infrastructure standpoint at the other. In between, we have a bunch of other workloads, but those are the two that I really would like to highlight. And the other third, if I can spend some time on this, is object storage. Object is the fastest growing storage part of the storage market, and we have our solution today that provides S3 compatible storage for on-prem applications.
Outstanding. Ranga, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining us today.
Irshad. Thank you again.
Thanks
a lot. Thanks.
And you can learn more about our products, our solutions, our workloads, including big data analytics, OpenStack, Object, and a number of other workloads at redhat.com/storage. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.